Hey y'all, this is David, the Georgia photographer, and today I'm going to review a lens. Today's lens I'm going to review is the Today's lens for review is the 85mm for real. Today's lens for review is the 85mm f2. Today's lens for review is the 82mm f2 Ai-S Nikon lens. Now what I've done is I've put it on my Nikon D810, which is a DSLR camera. Good Lord. Okay, today's lens is going to be the 85mm f2 Ai-S. Now this lens is a very compact 85mm. If you'll notice, it's just a little tiny thing. It goes from f2 to f22, which is kind of unusual, just to tell you the truth. That's basically it's an extra stop over what normally an f2 lens will do. And then its minimum focus distance says it's 0.85 meters, which is just a little under 3 foot, probably about 2 foot 10 inches or something like that, somewhere in that neighborhood. And then of course it goes to infinity, and it does it in about half a revolution. The lens does pump air in and out as it focuses. See how it telescopes? So that'll move air in and out of your camera, and that'll blow dust on your sensor over time. It does have, since it's an Ai-S lens, it has the cutout for the Ai-S sensor for the older film cameras. Plus it has this shelf on the aperture ring to drive this little lever on my D810 so that the D810 knows what the aperture is set at. You lock it in, you go to CPU lens data. I've got it already set as lens number 9. I just put it in there. Its focal length is 85. Its maximum aperture is f2. By setting it to f2, it knows that every one of these clicks where it's at, and you can see it on the top display here. I mean, you can't tell it probably, but it's on there, and it shows right here. The display that everybody complains about when these cameras come out, this top display no one ever used, I use mine all the time. Constantly. It's a very handy display for me. I don't use the one on the back screen hardly at all, except to review images and to work live view a little bit, but yeah, back to the lens. I've got it on my D810 because my D810 has the capability of reading the aperture, and I can put it in the non-CPU lens data and still get metering and aperture measurements for EXIF data in the camera. Now, it's of course manual focus, but I have focus indicators in the camera to help me make sure that the focus is right. It has 2 arrows and a dot. When that dot hits, the theory is it's in focus, and it's always seemed to perform well for me in the past. So I'm going to use that along with what I can see through the viewfinder and try to get some photos with it. Come on, let's go take some pictures with this vintage lens on this semi-vintage camera body. Seems like every time I go to hit record, that's what I find. I've been shooting it at f2. I tried to shoot the sun to get sun flare, but it was so bright that it couldn't really meter for it. So I ran 2 stops of exposure compensation, backed it off 2 stops, and then stopped it down to f8. And then I got a blue sky, but there's practically no flare. I was kind of surprised. It's actually pretty nice. But to be such a simple lens, it's working really well. So I'm gonna walk around and shoot some more at f2 before I switch up. And I'm gonna try to shoot some general street photography with it. That's what I'm kind of doing out here. All right, well, I'm back, sorta. I'm in a different place now. I've moved days and locations. I am now down by the Union Square garage, which is right by the public library. Right behind me is the Bank of America building. I'm over here on, I think this is 11th Street or 9th Street, 8th Street. I think this might be 8th. No, it's 10th, because 9th is the next one, which is MLK. Anyway, I'm gonna walk around downtown some, and I'm gonna do my best to get some photos. Here's what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna take the video camera with me because it turned into a huge logistical headache of trying, since this is manual focus and I have to look through the viewfinder to focus the lens because I have a focus indicator in there. And shooting with live view on the D810 is an exercise in futility on a good day. So I decided that what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk around and I'm gonna get me some photos, and then I'm gonna narrate the photos in the computer. I'll come back and we'll talk about this more once I get back from my walk. But yeah, I'm gonna do that. So we'll see you in a little bit. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm back. Now, I've been out shooting with this. I did meet someone right out here beside the truck. Took me about an extra 30 minutes to get moving because we just fell into this long conversation. We kind of made fast friends, if you want to know the truth. His name's Daniel, and I talked him into letting me make his portrait. I got with it behind the parking garage, and then I got it with the street so you can see the bokeh. With the garage in the background and the D810's metering performance, it made for a beautiful portrait setup. We're shooting in the shade, so it's like not, you know, you don't have the, it's nice diffused light is what it boils down to. So I got some amazing portraits of him. I walked around, went and got a cup of coffee, made it over to the Umbrella Alley off of Chestnut. Yeah, it's Carter on this side of MLK, on the other side is Chestnut, same road. I got a series of photos on here. I did a little bit, shot at F16 doing some pan and blur stuff, and then I just saw the Toyota sports car and had to go back to F2 to get a couple of epic photos of it. But this lens is a performer, and it's tiny. Look at this, this is 85 millimeters now. That's the whole thing, 85 millimeters. All right, it's F2 aperture. It's got a huge maximum aperture. If you're looking to get a budget camera, the D810 today is a steal. It's 36 megapixels, guys. And like I said, you can get them for pennies on the dollar. This setup takes stunning photos. So with that, this is David, the Georgia photographer, and I appreciate you watching. Until next time, get your camera out and go take a picture with it, all right? We'll see you later. Bye-bye.